Don't get it twisted. What's draining you isn't your job or other people, it's the role you strap on every day. Somewhere between the polite emails and the agreeable smile, a part of you keeps knocking the part you hid in the dark to be loved, to be reasonable, to feel safe. I call it the shadow, not a demon. Just the truths you once had, to deny the anger that wasn't allowed, the desire that was mocked, the intuition you silenced. Let me be plain American style. If you find yourself overreacting to certain people, the smug one, the show-off, the passive one, you may be staring into a mirror your unconscious is holding up. Persona is only the social mask. Shadow is the life you haven't lived yet. When that unlived life gets compressed, it grabs your hands when you're angry, hijacks your tongue when you're defensive, and slips into your dreams after dark. Why does this matter right now in a culture fueled by performance and image? Because virtue isn't real until it has passed through its opposite. Kindness that's never met its own capacity for cruelty is fragile kindness. Humility that's never wrestled with pride is avoidant humility. Integration doesn't make you worse, it makes you true. From truth, relationships lose the drama work, sheds the same old traps, sleep gets lighter. You stop yanking people off pedestals just to smash them. You stop blaming, then regretting. You start owning your projections and taking them back. Over the next few minutes, I'll hand you a compact, complete map for a descent, not into despair, but down to the level where meaning already waits. Tight definitions of shadow, persona, projection, complex so beginners don't get lost. A 5-sign checklist: you're being driven by shadow, repeating triggers, all or nothing relationships, chase/drowning dream motifs. A 5-step dream protocol you can do tonight: describe, personal associations, amplify the symbol, feel it in the body, test a small action. The 5R framework for shadow work: recognize, record, relate, safe, active imagination with an anchor and a clear closing. Ritualize, review. Red lines for safety: when to seek therapy, self-harm thoughts, substance relapse, severe flashbacks. If you've dreamed of being chased by a faceless pursuer, if you often say, "I don't know why I said that," if being good has become a gilded cage, this is the door. Don't fight the summons. Answer with radical honesty: what in me has not yet been lived? Next, we'll step on to the first stair of the underworld, why going down isn't losing control but reclaiming agency, and how to turn the chasing wolf into a guardian at your boundary. Take one deep breath, hand to heart. This is an invitation, not a verdict. You're not broken, you're unfinished. And that unfinished place is exactly where the work of your life begins. To begin the descent, we change our language. Stop calling your overreactions proof that you're bad. Start calling them what they are: unread messages. In Jungian psychology, the persona is the social mask, polite, efficient, agreeable. The shadow is the unlived life, drives memories, talents, and fears you pushed backstage to adapt. When the unlived stays buried long enough, it doesn't vanish. It finds outlets, dreams, accidents, slips of the tongue, and especially projection, where you spot in others exactly what you refuse in yourself. The trait that most irritates you in someone else is often the unconscious mirror being held up to you. That's the doorway into the underworld, not for punishment, but to thaw what's been frozen. Watch a few everyday American scenes. In a meeting, a confident colleague presents. Your pulse spikes even though they aren't attacking anyone. Beneath that irritation may be your own ambition, locked away after years of don't be too much. At family dinner, a relative judges someone's lifestyle. You snap harder than the moment requires. An old memory of being shamed has stood up to defend itself. On social media, you hate a braggy success reel, then spend hours curating your own shadow. Just took the wheel. The shadow isn't a demon, it's neutral energy, demanding negotiation, not more shame. Virtue ripens only after walking through its opposite. Kindness grows a spine, humility learns to name pride. Love stops avoiding desire. Integration doesn't make you worse. It makes you less self-deceived and less needy of others to play your funhouse mirror. Here's the short map. A feeling or quality labeled not allowed gets exiled. It coagulates into a complex and affect-charged knot of memory and belief, and it leaks in 3 common ways. 1, overactivation to small cues. 2, compulsive repeat behaviors, or 3, images and storylines in dreams. Each time it leaks, we reinforce the mask and call it being mature, and the loop keeps spinning. We don't smash the mask, we set it down and listen to the one behind it. Try a small, honest experiment. When someone makes you flare, don't just list why they're wrong. Write 3 lines about what you're afraid they might expose in you. Fear of being called ambitious, weak hungry. Then ask, what did I abandon in myself to look appropriate? This isn't self-indictment, it's a door opener. Picture a ladder into the cellar. Step 1. Recognize, catch the trigger. Step 2. Record dream fragments. Body sensations blurts. Step 3. Relate safe imaginal dialogue with an anchor, like breath, footing, and a clear ritual to close. Step 4. Ritualize one fitting act. Send the boundary email. Tell a simple truth. Take a walk. Step 5. Review end of week. Did the reactivity soften? No heroic victory, just subtle shifts. You breathe before replying. You hear one full sentence before judging. You find yourself softening at exactly the right moment. A near-at-hand story. Jay, a nurse in Boston, is praised as so dedicated, yet lately she can't breathe when the charge nurse asks her to swap shifts. Outwardly, she smiles yes. Inwardly, she burns. One night she dreams she's hauling water from a bottomless well until her hands bleed. She writes the dream, sits 10 minutes and asks, what do you want me to know? The anger answers, why I am the boundary. Jade doesn't become selfish. She sends a kind message. Thanks for asking this week. I can't trade shifts. The next morning she dreams the well has a lid. No miracle, just one precise move in the right place. The shadow stops screaming when someone finally listens. Another very American scene. A divorced father in Seattle thinks his son is too sensitive and often cuts him off when he cries. Each time the house tightens like a wire. After another round, the father tries something different. As tears start, he places a hand on his own chest, an anchor, and asks inwardly, what in me is panicking? A memory flashes at 10. He was scolded for crying on the field. In that moment, instead of fixing his boy, he says, I'm here. Say it all. That one line doesn't cure everything, but it pulls out a hidden hook that's been snagging them both. That's the line between indulging the dark and integrating it. Conscious presence is the furnace. Small value-aligned action is the alchemy. A red safety line. If the work stirs flashbacks, dangerous impulses, paralysis, or substance dependence to shut feelings down, bring in professional help. There is no weakness in calling a clinician or crisis line. It's the instinct for life doing its job. Shadow work isn't a solo obstacle course. It's sacred labor that sometimes needs a witness and a firekeeper beside you. At a deeper level, the descent always carries a moral paradox. You can't claim humility without meeting pride. You can't call yourself generous without touching desire. Before contact, virtue is avoidance. After contact, it becomes choice. The woman forever soft because she fears being called sharp can one day say no and keep a warm heart. The man proud of being rational can admit he fears abandonment and stop controlling his partner. Once the opposites are named, virtue stops being a mask and becomes inner discipline, firm, not rigid, the necessary hardness of love. Self-check with the 3 questions. 1. What have I judged most harshly this week, and where does a micro-version live in me? 2. Which feeling won't I allow to appear in front of others, and what is that costing me? 3. If the disowned part were protecting something, what would it be? Share one small line in the comments. The projection I'm retracting is, so we can witness each other. No verdicts, just courage. You may be surprised how a single honest admission draws warm, unshaming replies. We aren't alone in the dark. We're only alone while pretending we have no darkness. For the efficiency-loving among us, here's what to do tonight. Before bed, write a short note about the last time you overreacted. Record body details where it burned, where it clenched the sentence you wish you'd said, and one small kind action you can take next time for you and for them. That's a pocket ritual, a stone set on the next stair. If a dream visits a chase, a fall, a lost road, don't rush to a symbol dictionary. Describe it plainly and ask, what in this week feels like that? As your honesty increases, the unconscious will respond with more precision. Hear this gentle, sturdy truth: no one escapes the shadow. The only question is whether we enter it unconsciously or with a lamp in hand. The lamp isn't the posture I know. It's the vow I'm willing to see. And when you look, you'll find gold in the same soil you once despised. Gold isn't status or dominance. Gold is the capacity to name truth without shaming yourself or harming others, the quality our surface world sorely needs in the boardroom, on social feeds, even in church. Next, we'll step into the language of dreams, the royal road to the unconscious, and you'll get a simple 5-step process to decode your own messages without losing freedom. From the wolf to the sunken cathedral, from the endless fall to the cellar with a lid, we'll learn how to listen and respond so the dark stops chasing and stands beside you as a new protector. If this touched you, write one line for the circle. An unlived part of my life is. It's a small promise to yourself and a signal to others that the road downward isn't lonely. It's the quiet procession of those choosing to become real. If the last episode was the first rung on the descent, this one teaches the language of that depth: dreams and projections, 2 royal roads by which the unconscious reveals itself. Don't rush to ask, what does my dream predict about my future? Jung didn't treat dreams as fortune-telling. He saw them as the soul's biological feedback at night. The ego dims and the hidden parts step on stage as living images. It isn't linear logic, it's living metaphor. Each image is personal, tied to your memory, and archetypal, rooted in the human pattern. We don't translate a dream like a dictionary, we enter a dialogue with it. A 5-step dream protocol doable tonight. Journal. Like a naturalist, keep a notebook by your bed. On waking, quickly jot a title, date/time, the dominant mood color, heavy gray-blue body sensations, tight chest, hollow belly, and 3 standout images: wolf escalator, dark sea. Speed beats polish. Personal links first. Second, for each image, ask, what from this week does it evoke? The wolf could be a stern boss or anger you forbid yourself to feel. The escalator might be rush promotion. The dark sea could be unmourned sadness. Amplify archetypally after your links. Once you've got the personal layer, widen wolf instinct, see the great mother, the boundless escalator, being moved without choosing. Skip symbol dictionaries as final verdicts. Active imagination with an anchor. 7 min. Close your eyes, breathe, invite one image to step forward. Ask 3 questions. What do you want me to know? What are you protecting? What small act can I do today? Keep an anchor, feet on floor, hand on chest. Close the ritual, thank the image, see the door close. 24-hour behavioral check. Choose one tiny act, make the hard call, send a boundary email, allow 10 minutes to cry. Then notice how the dream's tone shifts the next night. Example 1, Austin marketing. You dream you're chased in an underground parking lot. Blurry pursuer, pounding heart, you wake gasping. Step 2, it evokes the new manager who pushes last-minute deadlines. Step 4, invite the chaser. It says, I'm the clock. I protect your limits. Your act: block 2 deep work hours each morning. Slack off during the block. Next night, same garage, but you're watching from a distance and realize the chaser is you pressuring yourself. No magic, just concrete structure, so the unconscious stops sounding the siren. Example 2, recurring flood. Each stress cycle brings a dream of water to the neck. Don't call it bad luck. Water may be stored emotion. Ask it, what are you protecting? That answers, uncried grief. Your act: 15th-minute walk, headphones in, breathe, name the grief, a friendship faded, a summer gone. Next night, still water, but now it's a lakeshore with a bench. When we respond, the unconscious answers in tone. Now the second mechanism: projection. If dreams are the night mirror, projection is the day mirror. The unconscious reveals itself by tagging others with what we haven't claimed in ourselves, both negative and positive. The smug coworker may stir a disowned hunger to shine. The controlling ex might jab the buried fear of abandonment. And the internet, a stadium of projections: idolize today, de-idolize tomorrow. Withdraw a projection in 6 clean steps. Stop 10 seconds. Feel throat, chest, belly. Name the emotion: anger, shame, envy. Write the raw judgment. They are washti ahem. Be blunt to see the blade you are holding. Find the 3% in me. Where at microscale does that quality live in me? Don't I also want recognition? Trace the memory. When was I labeled like this? Don't brag, don't exaggerate. Name the need. Do I need a boundary, information, time, or simple validation? Run a tiny behavior experiment. Send a clear, non-accusing note. When deadlines shift last minute, I feel strained. I need 24-hour notice to do good work. Then watch the data. Tinder microcase, you pedestal someone in 48 hours. They reply slowly. You bristle at their indifference. Step 3. Where am I absolutizing? Step 5. The real need is a communication rhythm, not proof of love. When you withdraw the projection, the relationship moves from movie to human, less drama, more truth. Collective projection, teams and orgs groups project two onto the other department. The new hire, the outsider. A detox ritual for teams, start meetings with 2 minutes of self-check. Each person says one thing they can do better. This week, no excuses. It cuts the blame loop and opens space for shared responsibility. Safety rails and progress markers. Red lines if dream inner work, triggers severe flashbacks, freeze sight and self-harm thoughts, or substance dependence, pause and seek qualified help. That isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Progress looks concrete. Fewer blow-ups. Longer gap between trigger and response, you can count to 10 before replying. Clearer needs information. Time boundary. Dream tone shifts from chaos to dialogue. Faster projection withdrawal, you can find the 3% in me in a single breath. Community practice in the comments post. My repeating symbol this week is and my 24-hour action is Ashabahimas. Don't fix each other, witness each other. The healing power of a witness is old and modern. Someone sees you without trying to edit you. If you're in the practice group, drop I withdraw when you catch and reclaim a projection. That's the bell that another loop of de-illusion has closed. What's next? From here, we approach anima, animus inner figures, who appear in dreams as guide or blocker. A woman may hear a cold inner male voice untrained, animus acting as critic. When invited into a new role, he becomes guardian of boundaries. A man may meet a mysterious inner feminine unheard, anima alternating between lure and retreat. When dialogued with, she becomes soul warmth for feeling. That's next. For now, remember, dreams and projections are the two hands that carry you to their threshold. 24-hour homework. Tonight, record one dream, pick one image, do the 3-question dialogue, and take a tiny verifying action. Tomorrow, notice one prickly moment and try the 6-step withdraw. If it resonates, share a short line. I heard the image say, okay, and my action was wow. Each small story lays another stone on the path so we can keep walking without turning back in fear. Next episode, a deeper dialogue with anima or animus, how to train them from saboteur to ally, in a simple rite of sacred marriage between opposites, so kindness grows a spine and reason grows a heart. Bring your notebook. These meetings deserve to be recorded like the first pages of a new life. When you've learned to listen to your dreams and to pull back projections, the next door opens, meeting the inner figures, anima and animus. We're not talking about biological sex. We're talking about two inner principles: receptivity, relatedness, feeling, and clarity will direction. Split apart, each turns into a shadow. A starved anima becomes seduction, abandonment, a fog of moods. An untrained animus turns judge and preacher opinions, replacing the heart. Trained, they become allies. Anima gives warm intuition in the music of compassion. Animus gives a backbone, the power to say no, and keep your promises to yourself. In Jung's language, this is Konayungsho, the sacred marriage of sun and moon, fire and water. So you're not nice by habit, you're good with discipline. 4 short daily trainings, 1 per day, simple, repeatable animus. Contract 7 minutes. List 3 recurring inner attacks. Don't speak. Not good enough. Asking is selfish. Cross out the authoritarian words and rewrite them as boundary protection. Help me speak enough, not go silent. Help me set deadlines, not procrastinate. Sign it. From today, you're a guardian, not a jailer. Anima writes 10 minutes. Play instrumental music. Hand on chest, name, 1 shade of feeling, not good, bad, but tart, cloudy, warm. Free write 5 lines without editing. Close with a kind gesture, sip water slowly. Step onto the porch and breathe for 60 seconds. Sun-moon pair. Before a hard email, write 2 lines. Sun, what am I aiming to accomplish? Moon, how do I want them to feel when reading? Send only when both are present. Small acts with rhythm. Choose one, both warm and firm behavior. Say no, plus offer a plan B. Schedule it, plus say thank you. State the truth, plus ask one open question. Do it once a day for 7 days. How to tell integration from indulgence. The 2x2 you can feel. Picture a 2x2 grid, horizontal, low, high awareness, vertical, low, high ethics, low awareness, low ethics, possessed blow-ups, harm, self-damage, low awareness plus high ethics, pseudo-saint fake kindness, suppression, no air, high awareness, low ethics, justifying, I'm integrating use to excuse harm, high awareness plus high ethics. True integration, you face desire and fear and choose actions that don't humiliate anyone, including you. Check your data, not your self-story. Do the people closest to you feel safer or tenser after your honesty? Everyday sin, your animus still needs training wars for shadow. Animus common, when the inner feminine is strong, a head packed with opinions, the need to be right, evidence obsession that goes numb to feelings, difficulty saying, I want. Trained speech is clear and warm. You can ask for time/resources and you stop mind reading others. For shadow anima common, when the inner masculine is strong, sudden mood drops, idealize. Crash cycles, salvation fantasies, avoiding intimacy for fear of being swallowed. Listen to feelings get named, you build a recovery rhythm, and you can be touched without losing yourself. Tape a tiny cheat sheet to your desk. When I'm sharp, I need clarity plus time. When I'm limp, I need to be heard, to rest. Small paper, big alchemy coal dust turns to spark. Practice table situation. Old reflex. New move work. Piled up deadlines. Old silent tense seething. New two-step sentence. I need X to do this well. Plus propose a clear milestone. Love partner shares pain. Old fix lecture. New name the feeling plus one ask. What do you need right now? Listening a hug or solution. Brainstorming. Family Tina snarky. Old power punish. New confirm boundary. That tone isn't okay, plus invite a talk in 15 minutes when both are cooler. 9 minutes sacred Konyangsho mini ritual. Minutes 1 to 2 sketch. 2 symbols. Sun aim and moon felt experience. Minutes 3-5, 2 columns. Hard truth and soft truth. Minutes 6 through 7. Pick one action that's both firm and warm today. Minutes 8 to 9, hand on heart, whisper. Light and shadow work together, then step through an imagined doorway to close. Progress metrics that actually fit this chapter. Boundary emails get faster, less defensive. You ask more than you pronounce. Sex/intimacy has more presence, less performance. Dreams show guides more than pursuers. Red flag pause if animus surges, come with heavy flashbacks, relentless insomnia, self-harm thoughts, or substance dependence. Stop the rituals and bring in a professional. We work with the unconscious by respect, not bravado. Keep the rhythm small and steady. Set a reminder for sun moon before 3 key emails. Drop sun in M0 on O is 0 in the comments whenever you land a warm no. Applaud others when they share their animus contract or anima right. Being witnessed without being fixed is fuel for the work. Hand to heart. 1 breath in, longer out. My sun chooses, my moon feels. My yes creates, my no protects. Then take 1 firm, warm action before you touch your phone. Which one will you live today? You've come a long way learning to listen to dreams, unhook projections, and draft a living contract with your anima/animus. Now let's turn insight into subtle muscle with a 1-week alchemy, 7 days short enough to keep momentum long enough for the unconscious to realize you're serious. Treat it like a small pilgrimage through busy American life. Slower rhythm, simple moves, steady repetition. You'll need 20-30 minutes a day in a notebook. The rest, change itself, belongs to honesty and consistency. Day 1, lay the ground. Don't do more, build foundation. Write 3 hot zones where you flare: meeting room, family, kitchen, social media. After each incident, rate the heat 0 to 10. That's baseline data for your end week review. Evening pledge. Keep it small, not heroic. For 7 days, I'll listen to 1 dream image and practice 1 conscious act. Draw a red safety line if there's heavy flashback, self-harm thoughts, or substance use to cut emotion. Stop the exercise and contact a professional. There are no medals for overendurance. There is only the wisdom of a life drive. Day 2. Give the dream a job. Keep notebook plus pen by the bed. Set your alarm 10 minutes early. On waking record a title date/time color, a feeling, and 3 standout images. Invite just one image into a 3-line dialogue. What do you want me to know? What are you protecting? What small thing can I do today? Keep a body anchor, feet on floor, hand on heart, and close the right by imagining a door gently shutting. Evening, Able 1, verifying act. Apologize for a sharp comment. Take a 10-minute breath walk. A viewer once dreamed of a broken escalator. That night, she requested a 24-hour extension for quality checks. The next dream showed the escalator moving. Not magic, just the unconscious recognizing you've shifted pace. Day 3, withdraw the projections. Hygiene in public life. When a post burns you or a smug coworker triggers you, 10 seconds. Hand to throat, chest, belly. Write the raw judgment to feel its edge. Then find 3% truth inside you. Where does this live in microform within? Track the memory. Thread. Since when were you labeled like this? Name the real need now, information, time boundary, or acknowledgement. One Chicago manager swapped silent resentment for a one-line message. When deadlines shift last minute, I get tense. Please give me 24 hours notice so I can deliver. The office tone changed, not saintly bosses, just fewer theatrics, more data. That night, the dream's dark parking lot gained warm lamps. Day 4, animus. Anima, in right rank. If a cold inner male voice judges you, write a contract from today your guardian, not jailer. Your job, help me speak clearly, set timelines, and never use coldness as a weapon. If you're feeling life goes stone silent, do a brief anima write instrumental music on. Name the flavor of feeling in one word, bitter, murky, warm. Free write 5 lines. End by sipping a full glass of water slowly. Before a hard email, ask the sun-moon pair, what's my hard goal? What soft experience do I want them to feel? A Portland designer said my animus wasn't an enemy, he just needed a new job description. That night, a library window opened to a breeze. Day 5, boundaries where shadow lays mines. Practice is sacred, no thanks for thinking of me. This time I won't join and add option B when it fits. Practice a heart yes, not people-pleasing, but a yes that preserves breath. A Houston mom stopped taking every weekend with the grandkids and wrote, I'm resting this Sunday, Saturday, 2 to 5 works. No one dies from a no. Many hearts thin out from yeses without a heart. That night, the wolf that used to chase her walked beside her like a gatekeeper. Day 6, the collective shadow teams. Families groups. Notice the system when something breaks. Do we hunt a culprit? Propose a 2-minute pre-meeting ritual. Each person says one thing they'll do better this week. No excuses, no blame. Pragmatic American. A saddle team tried it during sprint review. A month later, shorter meetings, less buck passing, more process fixes. Dreams shifted from endless corridors to a round room with chairs. When individuals withdraw projections, the community can breathe. Day 7. Konjunktio sun and moon. Firm and warm draw 2 simple symbols. Sun equal 1 firm objective. Moon equal 1 soft experience. 2 columns. Hard truth, soft truth. Choose one act that is both strong and warm today. A no with an alternative. A fact plus an open question. A scheduled slot with thanks. Close the week with a small mandala. A circle with 1 center word. Truth, boundary, warmth. Score 4 checks, fewer blowups, longer delay between trigger-response dreams, turning to dialogue and more questions than judgments. A Phoenix restaurateur sketched this on a menu pad. Goodness doesn't need drama, only rhythm. Between the days, community recovery closure. In the comments lay a small stone on the shared road. Day 2. The image I dialogued with was, my tiny act was, day 3 I withdraw. The 3% in me is, day 4, sun and moon. My email line is, we don't fix each other, we witness. In that field, the unconscious learns a thing modern people forget: we can be seen without being edited. 2 add-ons most people skip. 1. Recovery rhythm. Alchemy needs enough sleep, food, and walking. A shaky body won't hear animus. 2. After ritual closure, after each imaginal dialogue, close the door, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale. 6. Signal the nervous system that the session ended. Respecting the door equals respecting the unconscious. What if I miss a day, then begin again tomorrow? No moral demerits. Repeat the small pledge. Jungian progress rarely looks like fireworks. It's a tonal shift. You respond softer, a beat slower, a shade more precisely. Over time, that little more separates a life driven by shadow from a life escorted by it. Reflection prompts for your journal, or the comments: which one image will you work with tonight, and what one act will you take within 24 hours? What's your 3% truth in today's irritation? And what need time info boundary acknowledgement sits under it? What's your sun-moon pair for the next tough email, hard goal, soft experience? Which sacred no will you practice this week so your yes can breathe? What 2-minute ritual will your team try before the next review? What matters now isn't how to go back down, but how to live with the shadow every day without letting it grab the wheel or shoving it back into the basement. Jung never promised permanent daylight. He promised a living rhythm, a pact where light and dark agree to walk together. Treat this part as the ethics of truth, how we use what open dreams reflection, animus boundaries to love, to work, to build community without pretending we're perfect. First relapse. You think you're past it and suddenly the old wave rises. In Jung's language, growth is a spiral. Each turn revisits old themes just one level up. Progress isn't never angry again. It's anger arriving slower, leaving quicker and harming fewer. When relapse hits, don't ditch your notebook. Write 3 lines. What did I already know about this? What's the new layer, and what's the smallest action that keeps me from the old loop? A manager in Phoenix sketches a quick mandala with a missing edge before tense meetings. I'm showing up with one unfinished side. Oddly, that admission cools his need to win. Next complexes the emotional knots woven from childhood. Not for blame, but for maps. A mother complex can feel like overcare or swallowing. A father complex can press for achievement or freeze into silence. In everyday American life, this splits 2 ways. The one who takes care of everything burns out because she never asks. The one who carries it alone fears asking as if it means losing face. A soft but strong practice is to change the spells from "I must do it all" to be "I'll ask for a right-size share." A single mom in Houston texted, "I need 90 minutes on Wednesday night. Who can swap pickup?" She didn't just get 90 minutes. She found gold in the shadow, the capacity to ask without calling herself weak. Beware spiritual bypass using healing language to dodge real pain. You say, "I've let go," yet your dreams keep drowning scenes, or your body tightens when a certain name appears. Maybe you've let go in words. Don't shame yourself. Slow down and return to the body. Hand to chest. Track the beat. Name one raw feeling: salty, sour, bitter. Write 5 unedited lines. Then take one tiny protective step: 10-minute walk, notifications off for an hour, a clean boundary email. The unconscious learns fastest from small right actions. And love shadow loves to dress up as romance. Idealized disillusion is projection's classic dance. A man in Denver fell like lightning, and 3 weeks later, every longing became a demand. When he pulled the projection, he found he'd pasted his anima deep listening onto her instead of giving it to himself. He didn't bolt. He left the fantasy and entered a truer bond, fewer miracles, more agreements. In Portland, a woman lived so pleasant she lost her voice. The day she signed an animus contract, guardian, not jailer, she said her first real line in years: "For quality, I need 48 hours. Love didn't die, it exhaled. At work, collective shadow often wears a prosecutor's hat, hunting a culprit instead of fixing the system. Try something tiny: open meetings with 2 minutes of self-check. Each person names one thing they'll do differently next week. Not confession reps for responsibility. A Seattle team tried this. A month later, arguments dropped by half. When individuals withdraw projections, the shared culture changes: key, less hiss, more building. A 4-bridge toolkit for the tricky quadrants, where shadow camps: money, sex, power, faith. Money if you scorn money. Ask, what do I fear if I have enough? If you clutch it, ask, what do I fear if I don't? Action: create a kindness budget, giving by choice, not guilt. Sex: if one wants and one shuts down, try the sun-moon double line. What I'm moving toward is closeness, fun, gentleness. What I want you to feel is safe, chosen, seen. Truth reduces shame. Power trait: I must win for power, for what to protect, to serve, or to dominate. Write a one-line vow. I use decisions to enable, not to close doors. Faith. When belief turns rigid hand to heart, what feeling am I avoiding? Often it's the fear of doubt that needs holding. Faith grows stronger when it can carry doubt. Measure kindly so the path doesn't become a scoreboard, but also isn't fog. Track for 1 week. 1 delay between trigger and response. Did you buy 3 breaths? 2. Tone of heart emails, less defense, clearer needs. 3. Dream color chased versus guided. 4. Times you asked a question instead of firing a verdict. Score each night 0-10. Tiny steady data is a good doctor. Let community be the harbor. One line from you can save someone 3 days of confusion. When you catch yourself withdrawing a projection, drop, I withdraw. When you send a warm and firm boundary mail, drop sun on. When you spot gold in the shadow post. Found gold with 1 short sentence. No one needs to correct anyone. We just need to see one another. The healing power of witness is something both modern psychology and old traditions know well. Draw a public red line. If dreams reignite heavy obsessions, if self-harm thoughts appear, or you rely on substances to numb, stop the rituals and call a professional. Honoring the unconscious means honoring limits. You're not broken for needing help. You're maturing. Where should I go next? Not to a grand course, but to 2 minutes each day, where you sit hand over heart and ask, today, what does my shadow want me to know? Sometimes eat, sometimes call mom, sometimes say no. Small orders carried out change the direction of a life. What is today's 2-minute truth for you? If you've walked with me to this point, you may feel it already. Darkness isn't a stalker at the door. It's the unlived life waiting to be called by its right name. Jung never invited us to become perfectly good. He invited us to become disciplined in real people who bow to their own darkness, so it stops wrecking the house and starts to serve. In this video, we open the door downward, learned the language of dreams and reflections, made a conscious contract with anima / animus, and moved through a week of alchemy in steady small steps. What remains now is rhythm. Each day, keep a chair for the truth, even if it's only the size of a fingertip. Look back with me where you once strained to be good. Now you can exhale and choose kind honesty. Where you used to say yes to dodge conflict, now you can say a warm no. Where you once hooked your anger into someone else, now you can pull the hook back and look for the 3% of truth in yourself. These won't make headlines, but they change the quality of ordinary days, and ordinary days are where the soul stays. 3 anchors to help the ending keep speaking after the screen fades. First, the door. Every practice needs an opening and a closing. Hand to chest, breathe in to begin. When you're done, picture the door gently shut. To respect the door is to respect the unconscious. Second, the ladder, skip the elevator. Each rung is 1 small act. Write a dream, withdraw a projection, 1 clear email, 1 kind no. Third, the companion, let the old wolf stop chasing and walk beside you as a new gatekeeper. The once exiled energy now protects your boundaries and your promises to yourself. I'm leaving you a 1-line vow and a pocket ritual. The vow is simple. When good and true collide, I choose the true. Write it on page 1 of your notebook, on your fridge, or in your phone. The pocket ritual is sun moon in 60 seconds. Before a hard email, talk, or decision, ask 2 questions. What's my hard goal, and what soft experience do I want the other person and me to feel? When both are present, act. That's the Konyangsha, the sacred marriage, compressed into a minute. A safety red line clearly restated: if dreams stir heavy memories, if you need substances to shut feelings off, or if self-harming thoughts appear, stop the ritual and find a professional. There is no failure here, only the courage to invite another firekeeper to stand with you. A gentle invitation. If this video touched you, leave a small witness for yourself in the community. In the comments, post 1 line starting with found gold, a boundary, a sentence, a breath you'll carry this week. Or if you just withdrew a projection, write I withdraw with the 3% truth you saw. We don't fix each other, we see each other. As you know by now, being seen can retune a whole life. If you want to keep walking, hit subscribe and the bell to receive 1 clear, safe do it today, Jungian practice each week. Ahead, we'll enter the places where shadow likes to hide: love, idealization, and disillusion. Money, the shame of wanting enough power. Protecting versus imposing in faith. How belief can hold doubt without shattering. You'll also get desk cheat sheets, boundary lines, a 6-step projection, withdrawal, and a 7-day checklist to keep your rhythm. Before goodbye, give me 30 seconds of imagination. You're standing at the edge of a forest at first light. The road ahead doesn't promise ease, it promises meaning. Beside you is your own shadow, no longer mountainous, no longer heavy, walking like an old brother returned. Overhead, a faint mandala appears, not light erasing the dark, but light with depth able to hold the not yet lit. You step forward. Each step is a true sentence, a warm boundary, a brave withdrawal, a projection. You don't have to be perfect to begin. You begin in order to become whole. Leave one footprint as you go. One small truth I'll live this week is, we'll read one another without judgment. And if you want this lamp to reach someone who's tired, one like and one subscribe is enough. The algorithm will do the rest, but your heart is what guides the way. A last blessing, whispered as we close of the darkness in you, is not against you. It wants dialogue. When you listen, it returns gold, courage, tenderness, a spine. In the next video, we'll go deeper into making no a sacred right, and yes, a promise with a heartbeat. Until then, carry this line like a small key. My light is strongest when it can hold shadow. See you on the next step of the stairs.